Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the Comic Collector Geek, and this is part 10. I can't believe I got this far. I've been recording these non-stop. So this is part 10. We're getting to the biggest books in the collection. There's actually been some pretty big books all through all the other parts, so if you haven't watched them, go and watch them. There's some pretty cool books that I've shown. This one has one big book, some kind of mid-tier books. The finale is really where I put all, like, just a ton of big books, which is crazy in the finale. But this one, I think you'll enjoy. So we're going to start out with some Fiction House. And this is Cowgirl Romances, number 4, I believe. Yes, number 4. This is, looks like Maurice Whitman art. I'm probably right, but it doesn't say. It's Fiction House 1951. And it looks like Maurice Whitman art, just by the style of the girl. And just a really cool title. Has lots of really great good girl art covers. And I've been trying to collect them. I think I'm only missing like 2 issues now, 2 or 3 issues for Cowgirl Romances. It's just a really nice little series. If you like good girl and cowboys, I guess this would be the title for you. So yeah, just a really good one. She's really awkward. Like, the way she's holding the gun kind of bothers me, though. Looks really awkward. Maybe she's caught off guard, so she's kind of shooting it in a weird, like, her wrist looks really twisted. It's really interesting. Okay. But yeah, just a really cool one. I always like the trade dress, too. I'm just going to show you the trade dress. I just like the little cow and the little girl in the cowgirl. And the cow's, you know, she's kind of roping the cow, which is kind of fun. I always like that about the trade dress. So, Cowgirl Romances number 4. This next one, it completes a series for me. It's Police Lineup. And this is not necessarily the best cover. Like, some of the other ones are good girl covers. So, but I'm a completionist. Even though, I don't know why I do this to myself, but I have to get the complete run. If I get all the other covers, why not just finish it by getting? So it just irritates me not having the complete run. Well, especially issue number 1. So I had to get it. So I picked up issue number 1 of Police Lineup. So this is from Avon, 1951. It's a Wally Wood frontispiece, painted cover. So yeah. So I think this is done by Wally Wood, and this is some other artist. So yeah, kind of a cool book. Then another series that I've been collecting, and I really like everything this company produces, is Superior Comics. And this is Strange Mysteries. I think their stuff is really interesting. This is sort of a mixture of good girl, usually skeletons. They have a lot of skeletons in their stuff for some reason. This doesn't have the skeletons, but it is interesting. So Strange Mysteries number 19 from 1954. And Superior is one of these interesting companies because it was a Canadian publisher that really targeted an American market when you were not supposed to be targeting an American market. Like, the Canadian companies were not supposed to be selling to America. They're supposed to be really selling internally within Canada at that time. But Superior didn't care. They just did it. They would sell to the U.S. So just a really cool book. I'll show you the back. Canadian ads are always the weirdest. This one's like a multi-head screwdriver. So yeah. So, Superior Comics, 1954. And then we got another bag I can keep. Okay, this is an interesting one. Really cheap. This one is a cheap comic. I think it was almost the cost of the slab, how cheap this book is. And it is a number 1 issue. It's Little Iota. I only picked it up because it was a very inexpensive book. This is Little Iota number 1. I thought it was kind of a cute cover too. You know, she's kind of has her friend, and he's pretending to be the little monkey that, you know, when they have the grinding, the grind music player. And like, you know, you got the boy pretending to be the monkey with the accordion. But he's got, instead of it being a grind machine, it's like a radio, and he is holding a typewriter. Not a typewriter, a cash register. So very interesting mix. So Little Iota #1. Show you the back as well. Get a free comic. I like these when they have the comics on the back as well, instead of like some ad. Which is kind of fun. So yeah, Little Iota #1, and it was really inexpensive. Basically the cost of the slab, which is kind of sad. I'm not sure why it's such an inexpensive book. Another one that's interesting this is another affordable one. So I'm sort of balancing out the big book that's at the end of this video with these inexpensive ones. This one is 4-color number 377, another inexpensive comic. See, the Golden Age is not all huge pricey books. It can be inexpensive books too. And this is a very inexpensive one. Basically, I think I got it, my bid, I think was $2. Something like that. It was like $2 or something like that. And then you get the buyer's premium that they add on top. But it was basically like really, really cheap. It was incredible. This way I got through this one through Heritage, but I couldn't believe nobody else bid it against me. And this is Susie Q Smith. And this is actually Susie Q Smith's first appearance. Hey, for $2 plus buyer's premium. The buyer's premium is like always like $30, but still, I don't know. I thought that was, you know, seemed like a good deal for her first appearance. Basically the cost of the slab. So I thought that was pretty great. And get the more comics on the back on this one too. I don't know. Some of these things are just, in my opinion, a bit underrated. And I actually checked the census count. There's not that many of these on the census. Maybe because it's not really a valuable comic, but yeah. If they ever make a Susie Q Smith book movie, oh, this is gonna go to the moon. Okay. So those are all the kind of the, like, well, some of them were expensive, but those were more affordable books. This is the big book. This one actually was one that I always wanted to get because I just love this cover. This is probably one of two that I would see is being the grails for femme fatale covers. So Spirit, I think 22 is probably the #1 femme fatale cover, and this would be the #2 femme fatale cover. Is one I didn't think I would even get because it's such a it's such a big book. Yeah, I just like it. Something about it really speaks to me. You know, other people might not agree, but it is just, to me, it's a really great one. And I actually had another opportunity to buy this book. Somebody came to me with a collection. They watched my videos. They said, "Oh, I have a bunch of books that I'm selling. What do you think they're worth? And would you be interested in any of them?" So yeah, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm really interested in." I had like about 10 books out of their collection that I was super interested in. They then said, "Oh no, we'll only let you have 2." I'm like, "What?" Because they wanted to go through Heritage auctions to sell them all. So I was like, "Okay," and I said this one and some other book, and they were like, "Okay, we'll only give you 1." I don't know. They went from 10 that I was allowed to get to 2 that I was allowed to get, and then they would only let me get 1, and they wouldn't let me get this one. So basically, I only got 1 book to choose from. I chose the very first romance comic, I should say. But this is the one I really, really wanted of all the books. And I actually said I'd pay like I wasn't being greedy or trying to like undercut their price or anything like that. I said, here's a fair price for your book. And it was basically FMV. They were actually, the funny thing is the people that were trying to sell this book to me, I'm trying to build it up. Okay. The person was, when they were trying to sell it to me, they were using the Overstreet guide for pricing. So their pricing was maybe a third of what I was saying. So I was actually giving them better pricing than what they were expecting. And yet they still didn't sell to me. I was like, what are you doing? I'm being very fair with you. You know, I don't know. I don't get people sometimes. They tease me. They make me think I'm going to get something cool, and then I don't get it. But fortunately, this book came up for auction. This book does not come up for auction often. It's a rare book. It's a cool book. And I was worried that it was going to, because of both of those factors, was going to go through the roof. I paid just under what the previous sale was for this book. So I was quite happy to get it for an affordable price too. And it's Scoop number 8. If you actually watch this channel, I actually made a AI video with this with this thing. I might even append on to this video my AI video, so you can get a little feel of the two together. But yeah, I was so excited when I got this one. I really like this cover. Something about it just speaks to me. I just like the way that she's coming around the curtain. She's got the gun. You got this weird monster thing in the background. I'm not sure what that is. You know, she's about to shoot with her gun. Her finger's on the trigger. Just really cool. For me, this one really speaks to me. Like the green fingernails. Like the green, you know, nail polish. Just a really cool book. I don't know, something about this one, really love it. One of my favorite covers, actually. It's an old slab too. Really presents well for a 4.0. Presents really, really nicely. Just a really nice nice book. I don't know. I was super excited to get this one. This is, as I said, probably the number 2 femme fatale cover from the Golden Age. And it's just a great one. Something about the woman, just the way she's got kind of a bit of that mug, you know, that mob like girl, like I guess they're called gun mall kind of look to her. Just a really cool book. I'm really excited to have this one. So happy. So Harry A. Chesler Jr., World's Greatest Comics. See, it's World's Greatest Comics. It says it on the label right there. So we know it's the World's Greatest Comics. And that's it for this part. A little bit of a shorter part. But the next part is huge. I guarantee there will be multiple grails in the final. So stay tuned for that. The finale should be great. I hope you enjoy it. If you do like this content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks again. Bye for now.